everybody for having us. This is Matt Wolf. I am the SVP of Global Alliances for SiteCall, and I've been in the Salesforce ecosystem for over 10 years myself. I worked at Salesforce in the ISV Alliances team for 4 years, and then I went to Click Software, the leader for field service, for 6 years. We got acquired by Salesforce 8 months ago, and I came over to SiteCall. I think this is one of the next exciting opportunities, and couldn't be happier to be here. So thanks to Rakesh and the team for having us. We also have Ami Barzilay on the line, who is one of our senior SEs at SiteCall, is going to share a demo. I'm just going to do a few slides to start, and then we will go into a demo. I think everybody knows it's not the future anymore. The new normal is remote, and we are seeing a digital transformation that has been accelerated, but I think most everybody agrees it's here to stay. So more remote work, more remote communication, and also more remote assistance, which is the world where SiteCall comes in for video assistance, where SiteCall is the leader. SiteCall, founded in 2008, we're a global company, 150 plus enterprise customers. Most of our customers in the Salesforce world and in general are enterprise or upper commercial, as using the Salesforce terminology, upper CBU, GB. We have over 300,000 users, 700,000 downloads, and a very strategic partnership with Salesforce, who's the most important partner to us. We have a little image there of a win, which was 2 weeks ago. We won the demo jam for Salesforce Accelerate ISV partners, which is pretty awesome. We beat out 18 other top ISV partners in that competition. Customers, as you can see, a lot of names that you will recognize. We're really a horizontal solution. So SiteCall goes across really almost any vertical, but some of the ones you'll see us most in are manufacturing, telco, healthcare, and insurance. And you can see a lot of these logos yourself. You'll recognize the names. Really, API is our DNA. So the secret sauce for SiteCall is that we have built our own video platform. So our founders went away for about 5 years. Our founders came from a deep telco background, and we really approached the marketplace from a telco approach to build a platform that is very extensible, that is very scalable, and ultimately what this means is higher quality video, lower bandwidth requirements, and really an API wrapped story, as it says here. So we integrate very easily with partners, with hardware, with whatever our customers need. And our Salesforce integration is really a great example. So key strengths I want to mention. Probably one of the most notable things is that our video solution is implemented so rapidly. So I've come from the Salesforce world where a lot of times we measure implementations in quarters and over a year. Literally, SiteCall is up and running often in days to weeks, which has really been a shock to me. It's an awesome story. You can see also low bandwidth requirements, high compliance when you get into SOC 2, GDPR, HIPAA, some of these areas. So really a robust enterprise. So you're going to see it live in about 3 minutes here, but these are some of the highlights, some of our features for video assistance that obviously come in very handy in customer support and field service support. And so I'm not going to go through the list, but this is you'll see some of this live in just a few minutes from Ami. So with Salesforce, we have 2 AppExchange apps. Our flagship app is our visual support app, and we also have our chatbot. And what you're going to see today is our visual support app. And for Service Cloud, this is probably where you'll see us most frequently, is coming out of Service Cloud. And this is a story, really an omni-channel story. So Salesforce, as you know, has an awesome story around omni-channel text, chat, now voice with Amazon. But the one piece that's missing, very important, is video. So video interaction, Salesforce works with partners for that, and site calls at the top of the list. And so you can see here, and you'll see it live, that we are launching our sessions directly out of the Service Cloud console. And this is a pretty awesome experience for agents to be able to spin up a video, improve first call resolution, reduce product returns, and improve the customer experience. Another big area for us is field service lightning. So in this case, it could still be an agent working with a field service technician. The agent has access to different information, but it could also be technician to technician. You might have someone with more subject matter expertise and who's helping someone who's newer. And of course, all of this, think of the context of the world today where consumers do not want people coming into their home. Businesses don't want extra people coming into their workplace. And companies themselves don't want to be sending people out for safety reasons, obviously. So in this new world, video has become more valuable than ever, and being able to diagnose and solve issues remotely is extremely valuable, and we're seeing a lot of acceleration at SiteCall, especially in the Salesforce world. A couple quick customer stories. So one is Koenig & Bauer. So Koenig & Bauer, this is large printing presses. The vast majority of the banknotes in the world, the money that's printed, is on Koenig & Bauer printing presses. So these are giant, complex, some of the largest printing presses in the world. And we've helped Koenig & Bauer get back to work, but as importantly, their customers get back to work with their remote assistants. So this is for maintenance and break fix on these printing presses. And Koenig & Bauer is able to interact with their customers, the technical folks at their customers, and also when Koenig & Bauer sends out their own technicians for maintenance, and they're able to interact over video. 80% of customer cases are now handled with remote support. So you can imagine how valuable that is in today's world. Another example is Core Health and Fitness. So this is some of the best known names, including Schwinn, that Core owns. And this is home equipment, and it's also gym equipment. And it's certainly also become extra relevant in the COVID world because more people are using home equipment. And when it breaks down and they need assistance, Core can look via video remotely, help to diagnose, send out the right part, hopefully not have to send out a technician, really reducing the truck rolls and significantly reducing costs. And these gym manufacturers, equipment manufacturers, are seeing acceleration in their own business, and so this is a great story that fits along with it. So let's and a 55% first-time fix rate. Let's go over to Ami to show a demo, see what this looks like in action.
Great, thanks, Matt. Hi, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. There we go. All right. Let's see. Okay, so I think everybody can see that. So what I'm going to demonstrate here is a live visual support session where I am inside of a case in Service Cloud, and I'm escalating it to a visual support session by sending a text message to the customer. So I'll be playing both the agent and the customer. And what you can see on my desktop here is on the right-hand side, I've got the screen from my phone mirrored so that you can see what happens on the mobile device in parallel to what the agent sees inside of Salesforce. Now, SiteCall works in just about any type of Salesforce product. It could be Health Cloud, Service Cloud, as Matt was talking about earlier, also Field Service Lightning. You can escalate from a chat. We even have support inside the chatbot as well. But for this demo, we're going to be using Service Cloud. So I have a case open here where a customer, theoretically has electrical panel issues. And what you'll notice is that I have the site call widget open in the utility bar here in the lower left-hand corner. And the site call widget will recognize whatever tab is in focus and will actually pull relevant information. So you can see here it's got the case number. And then if I hit SMS to send an invitation, it will actually pull the phone number from the contact in the case. I could also edit this myself if I wanted to, but it's very convenient that it gives me that info right away. So I'm going to go ahead and hit send to send this text message. And if you notice on the phone screen, you'll see the text message come in. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit open link. And it is going to put me right into a visual support session. So you kind of have to wear both hats while watching this demo. So on the right-hand side, you're the customer, and on the left-hand side, you're the agent. So what I'm going to do is get a better look at what's going on exactly. So you can see this is real-time live video. Bear in mind, it's being done through a screen share, so the frame rate is going to be a little bit reduced. But in general, you'll usually get high quality, full frame rate video. And so I'm just kind of hovering over this electrical panel, and I have a number of tools that I can use to help me troubleshoot and diagnose. So first off, I'm going to use the zoom slider here to get a better look. So the idea is that SiteCall empowers the agent who is remote to be able to use the person who's locally on site, their mobile device, to gather whatever information you need. So I want to be able to kind of command that mobile device without the local user having to do too much. So I'm going to remotely zoom here, dragging the zoom slider. And now I get a much better look there at the panel. And maybe these wires are connected improperly. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit pause. And I have some annotation tools that I can use. So maybe the blue wire actually needs to go in the middle. And then on the phone, I can also annotate, and you'll see it's a different color. So maybe I want to say, hey, what about the black wire? Is that in the right spot? Yeah, sure. So I'm going to go ahead and just save this image, and it's going to get saved and embedded right into the case. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to just verify some of the information about this electrical panel. So there is an OCR tool, an optical character recognition tool that I can use. So if I move down here and I see the model number and serial number, so I'm just going to go ahead and capture that and hit Start OCR. And it's going to take a snapshot of that, which will show up right here. So you can see it took a little picture, found that text. And then over here, I have the translated image into digital ASCII text. So now I've got the model number. I can copy that if I want. And then maybe that corresponds to a product that's already in Salesforce. So I'm going to paste that in here. And then I can see I do have a product, an electrical panel, so I can go look at that. And then I see that the installation instructions are there. So I can access this reference material for that product if I want. And in fact, if I want to, I can actually share that back into the conference. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the screen share button. And it's going to give me a thumbnail view of everything that's open on my desktop. So if I pull up that PDF, you'll see now it's being shared right to the phone. And I've got the pointer. When I move it around, you can see on the phone, I can highlight different items. On the phone itself, I can actually pinch and zoom if I want to get a better look at the diagram. So that's another one of the tools here that I can use to help troubleshoot. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the share. And now what's really cool is I can look at all this data now that is in this case. So I'm going to close the product tab. and go back to this case. And if I just refresh this tab and go to related items, you will see here under attachments. So here's that picture with the annotation that I just took. So as an agent, I didn't need to save that picture locally and then manually upload it to the case, or, you know, have the customer save it or anything like that and email it. It's all connected via the back end through the APIs and automatically gets uploaded into the case. So that's great for gathering the data. Now, anything could be attached to this case. It's all totally configurable. That OCR data that I captured, the serial number, you could have that pushed into a different object if you want. Basically, everything is very highly customizable. There's also the ability to do two-way video if I want. So if I want to actually have more like a direct video conversation with the customer or the person on the far end, I can turn on my local camera here, and then you'll see me over there on the phone on the right-hand side, in the little local window there. Go ahead and turn that off. There's a number of other features that you can access that help troubleshoot and diagnose. But essentially, that gets us to where we want it to be with supporting this electrical panel issue that we were running into. So I think we're all set there. Anything else, Matt, you want to cover?
I would just say that, you know, imagine that this again in today's new normal, the value, this was already something where we're seeing increasing uptake. I mean, the world of video is here. It's arrived due to the bandwidth and the ubiquitous nature of our devices, and the fact that we can all start up a video sessions very easily, and combine that with where the world is today. And as I mentioned, consumers don't want people coming in their home. Companies don't want to be sending people out. And this is reducing that interaction significantly. A lot of times there can be self-fix, whether it's at a business or at a consumer. And other times there is a faster diagnosis. The right parts can be sent. Of course, there's still going to be a field service story. In some cases, technicians will still come out, but they're coming out with greater intelligence and knowledge. So it's very powerful. Let's see on the chat here. Ami, if you can see also, there might be some questions that we give to you. Using the video feature, are you able to speak as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you notice on the left-hand side here, I have two microphone buttons. So I have the microphones turned off by default, because generally when you're doing a demo, you don't want to get the feedback between your phone and the desktop. But in a normal use case, when you have one person local and one remote, they would be talking to each other as well over site call. So it supports both multi-way video, multi-way audio. You can have up to 8 people in a session simultaneously. So that's a good question.
Did you get? Can photos be attached to app bundles or jobs rather than only cases?
So I mean, essentially, you can push the photos to whatever you want. Right. So what we did in this example is we just pushed it to a case because that was what was relevant here. But in general, everything is configurable, so you can programmatically tell it to push the photos to wherever you want. You could even have the photos pushed to external cloud storage. You know, if you use a different type of storage, or even a local FTP server or something like that. It's very highly configurable, both on the admin side and programmatically through APIs.
Great. And the next one is, can someone have several video chats at a time, like is the case when a surgeon service agent uses live chat?
So you can, as an agent on a desktop, you can only be in one live visual support session at a time. That's the way the program is designed to work. But usually if you have multiple live chats going, then yeah, you would need to kind of bounce back and forth between sessions. And then I see another question here about the end user needing to download an app. So it actually works both in an app and in a browser. So on the app side, we have our own visual support branded app, in the respected app stores. We also allow customers to white label our app, or you can actually take the SDK and embed our libraries into your own mobile app as well. If you have your own existing mobile app that you want to enable this type of functionality. If you don't want to go the app route, you can configure it to run inside of a browser, and then it's going to use the local device's browser. So if it's an iPhone, it'll use Safari. If it's an Android device, it'll use Chrome. And it'll use the built-in real-time communications protocol, or WebRTC, inside the browser to do the video and audio portions. So it should be noted, though, there are certain limitations that exist in a mobile browser. Some of the browsers just don't have access to certain operating system level features that others do. So it really is more of a case-by-case matter of what features you can have when you're using a browser for visual support.
Then someone is asking where the recording is saved. So can you save it in the activity history or file?
Sure. So there's a couple different things. Any kind of data that you generate in the session, you can save it into whatever Salesforce object you want. When you are actually recording the video, you may not want to save the video file into the Salesforce case or whatever component, because video files tend to be rather large, and so you can actually configure your own storage rules on the admin side of our system, where the recording would get pushed to any sort of external cloud or hosted storage system. So all the popular services that you would want to use, we support. And on the administration side of it, it just asks you for the username and password or any kind of key that you might have associated with that storage.
Next, how the pricing works. So the Zoom webinar or Zoom meeting is also added into the pricing, or one need separate licensing for it?
So I'll let Matt address that if you want, or I can answer.
Matt can take.
Go ahead, Amit. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the pricing model kind of follows. It's similar to Salesforce's, but basically, the cost is on a per agent basis annually. That's sort of the general model. Obviously, we don't want to get into specific prices, but that's how we do it. We license it per agent.
Next, does this also work with a laptop webcam, or someone can use external webcam and a screen share for IT troubleshooting?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, the demo that I did when I turned my camera on, I was on my laptop. So yeah, pretty much standard kind of hardware. We're very much platform agnostic. So it runs on PCs, Macs, Android, iOS browsers, and if the operating system is able to access the webcam, then most likely we are as well.
Next, if Sitecall is active, does it allow you to configure omni-channel capacity so an agent is not going to be juggling multiple sessions at once?
Yeah, in fact, if you notice here on the lower left-hand corner, I'm in a conference right now, and my omni-channel tab shows that I'm busy. So if I hang up this call, which I'll just do this right now, my omni-channel status goes back to green. So, and that's, I'm glad someone asked that, because in talking about the different areas that we integrate with, So for example, if you were to escalate from chat or use the chatbot or field service lightning, it would actually be an incoming, routed omni-channel request rather than an outbound initiation like I did via text message.
Then can one support agent has several video chat at a time?
No, so I think that's similar to the question that was asked earlier. You can only be in one visual support session at a time.
Then someone is asking, are there any discount for non-profit orgs?
I don't know that I am the right person to answer that question. Go ahead, Matt.
So the answer is yes. There's not something that's set or standard, but absolutely we will we'll work with you on that.
Next, I assume the end user needs to download an app before they connect to the sessions. How is the experience for someone that is not super tech savvy?
Sure. So that's actually really the goal of our visual support application. So the idea is that once the mobile user joins the session, they don't have to actually do anything. That it's really the agent that has all the controls and can do all the things like Zoom, turn the camera on, turn the flashlight on, annotate, grab the pictures. It's really designed so that the customer, the person holding the phone, doesn't have to do anything other than, move the phone and point at the things that need to be addressed. And then I saw a question here, do you need to have a special configuration computer? No, I mean, honestly, the computer that I'm sharing, that I'm using, this is a Microsoft Surface, I don't even remember what the title of the model is, but it's the Microsoft laptop. It's, nothing unique.
All right. Does the creation of attachment also support Salesforce files?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear the question.
Does the creation of attachments also support Salesforce files?
Oh, the creation of attachments. I'm not sure what they're specifically referring to as Salesforce files. But yeah, I think it does. Basically, anything that you attach into it.
All right. Is there a way someone can try this in the sandbox? Do you have any links where people can go, attendees can go and install it on their sandbox or learn more about the pricing? Any URL or any pointer that would be good?
So the best way to do it would be to get in touch with someone in our sales organization. I think earlier in the chat, questions, if anybody has any questions, you can send an email to bizdev@sitecall.com and someone will respond very quickly. There we go. Thanks, Katie. And then, yeah, we're happy to do evaluations and demos and anything to get people working.
All right. That's all I can see so far.
Yeah, this is great. So thanks so much for having us. As put in the chat, bizdev@sitecall.com is the best way to engage with us. We really appreciate this, Rakesh and the entire team, and look forward to working with some of you.
Thank you so much, Matt and team. We are glad to have you. Thank you so much.